public schools, elementary schools, high schools, are starting, because they have a captive student audience, they're starting to advertise to the students. The school advertises to the students, like they sell a contract with McDonald's to try and increase their revenue because they're so strapped for cash. And I just think there's so few domains that are not commercialized that the more the better. The fact that parts of our body, i.e., where our devices, I consider phones part of your body basically. It's like a cyber part of our body, and the fact that we kind of accept that we have advertising it built into our own bodies is a little intense, I think. This may be why, by the way, on this whole FBI Apple dispute, people have reacted so intensely. I don't know if this is news up here as well, but I think people don't see this. They see it even as more private than their own house. Because the FBI searched my house. Well, I don't like it, but it's part of the deal. Wait, my phone?
Yeah.
I think they think it's like part of them. It's like, as if someone were to ask to crack open your chest and take a look at your lungs to see if they can read something there. So.
Yeah, because people will leave their houses unlocked. I know a lot of my friends do, where they're just like,
Yeah,
oh, whatever, I can leave my apartment unlocked, but like, God forbid you leave your phone unlocked and anyone can look at it. Like, you don't even tell your friends the passcode to your phone.
Yeah, I have a biological theory, which I think people really do start to regard as part of themselves.
Yeah. No,
have you ever lost your phone and then you sort of, it's a different feeling than like losing your
arm.
It feels more like losing your arm. No, it feels like if you lose a pair of shoes, it's not great. But losing your phone sometimes, it feels like you honestly you feel this phantom limb, you start to grab it.
Yeah. You feel something vibrate.
Yeah.
Like.
I think that's we partially. I think years ago we already have become partially, partially robotic creatures. Partially.
It's interesting.
Human. Yeah,
Well,
ever since.
Go ahead.
No, we've been like that for years, but it's very manifest in devices.
It's like Stephen Hawking has this theory about AI, and he tells this story that the man is trying to answer the question, is there a God? And so they build the world's smartest computer, and then they plug it in and they type into the computer, is there a God? And then the
doesn't it
plug,
say 42 or something?
well,
no. That's the galaxy.
Yeah, the other answer. And then the plug short circuits and flies out of the wall, and then the screen says there is one now. And it's like the computer is God, but then people are saying, well, maybe Stephen Hawking is a robot because, like, this is AI speaking through him.
Right. When I said cyborg would be the right answer.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that probably happened when we started using tools, so it dates back a long time.
Okay, well, I guess in terms of just looking at publishing things online, we were talking about like the little publications on the tail and then, like, the big dogs.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worthwhile for students to get like journalism degrees in light of the fact that like the internet is basically one giant newspaper that anyone and everyone can publish on?
Journalism degrees. There is still a lot to journalism. I believe strongly in journalism as a method, and I think journalists have a set of distinctive techniques that other groups of people do not. And whether that's learned in a journalism school, like our fine journalism school at Columbia, for example, or whether it's learned on the job somewhere, I think that is incredibly important training. In other words, I think there are distinct skills. I'm amazed at what investigative journalists turn up. So right now, you didn't quite mention this, but I work in law enforcement I'm one of these people who never chose. Like I kept doing all my jobs I wanted to do. So I work in law enforcement right now for the State of New York Attorney General's office, and we have this thing called subpoena power, which means you can order people to just turn you over stuff. Like turn over all your emails for the last 10 years about the topic related to law breaking. And I'm not criminal. I hunt companies, bad companies, bullies. I take on big, powerful companies who are evil.
Big trolls.
And silly trolls, but yeah, they're whatever. And even though we have that power, so you would think we can figure everything out. Investigative journalists key up so much of our work. I don't know where we'd be without like the New York Times and ProPublica, a few other places. They set up our cases. And so I think that is incredibly important, and I think whether it's journalism school or, newspapers or whatever it is,